Hello, good evening, Tribuners. Welcome back with me, Mutiara, in Indonesian News of Tribun Lampung. We will present you an updating and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here, the complete news. The first news comes from Aceh. Online prostitution practice house was sealed. The Deputy Regent of Aceh Besar, Husaini A Wahab, or familiarly called Waled Husaini, went directly to the location of the shop house, which was used as an online prostitution location in Gampong Garot, Darul Imarah District on Saturday, April 2, 2022. Waled Husaini's arrival was to ask the shopkeepers or shop house tenants who are suspected of being involved as pimps in the practice of online prostitution based on the confession of two of the 5 women of the night who were arrested on Tuesday, March 29, 2022 last night to move. During the negotiation, the shopkeeper who had abused his shop house into a location for online prostitution was willing to move, and finally the pimp's residence was sealed. Waled Husaini emphasized that the Aceh Besar government would not tolerate any kind of immorality in Aceh Besar. For this reason, Waled Husaini asks all people in Aceh Besar to continue to be vigilant and not be careless in protecting themselves, their families, and the environment from immorality. On the other hand, the closing of the shop house as a hotbed for online prostitution is a follow-up to the deal that was made some time ago. At that time, it was agreed that the person concerned had to move from the village and was given the time of day. However, until the time limit ran out, it turned out that they had not moved it, and finally a tough mediation was carried out. It was finally agreed that the person concerned since Saturday no longer lives in the village. To transport goods, a maximum period of 1 week is given, starting on Saturday, April 2, 2022 today. The next news is, an Indonesian migrant worker who was repatriated dies in Nunukan. A 39-year-old man from Soppeng Regency, South Sulawesi, died at the Sedadap Health Center on Friday, April 1, 2022 in the morning. He is an Indonesian migrant worker who was deported from Malaysia. According to the head of Indonesian Migrant Worker Protection Agency Nunukan, Police Grand Commissioner Hijriah Ginting, the country's foreign exchange hero who died from heart failure. He is one of 236 Indonesian citizens who were repatriated back to their homeland via Nunukan Nunukan Harbor on Thursday, March 31st afternoon. Ginting admitted that since arriving at Nunukan Harbor, the deceased had experienced shortness of breath, but there were no serious complaints. He further said that upon arrival at the temporary shelter, the Port Health Office officer accompanied by the Indonesian Red Cross checked the man. From the confession of the man's close friend, he had been experiencing shortness of breath for a long time. The body this afternoon will be returned to Soppeng, his hometown. The next news comes from Ambon. Flower sellers earns big profit ahead of Ramadan. The tradition of visiting the graves ahead of Ramadan 1443 Hijriah brings its own blessings to flower sellers. As seen in the area of the Clove Gardens Public Cemetery, multiple benefits can be obtained as a result of increased pilgrim visit to the public cemetery. This is acknowledged by Fitri, a flower seller who sells tabur flowers every day beside the entrance to the public cemetery. Previously, she sold flowers for 3,000 rupiah for one small plastic bag. However, the day before the holy month of Ramadan, an increase of 5,000 rupiah for one bag. The reason is, the flowers sold are not only taken from privately owned trees. There are flowers that are bought for 50,000 rupiah for a large red plastic bag from a collector in Hatu. The way she sells it is also different from the usual day. She and some of his colleagues peddle the show flowers to the intersection of Kebun Close. Although the purchase price from the collectors is expensive, it is unmitigated. In the last week before the month of Ramadan, Fitri can earn a profit of 200,000 rupiah to 300,000 rupiah for one day. The next news comes from Banjarmasin. A drunk man who was about to set his house on fire was arrested by the police. A drunk man with the initial AN is rumored to be setting fire to his house on Nusa Indah Street, Padat Karya Complex, Sungai Andai Village, North Banjarmasin on Saturday, April 2, 2022 at around 10 to 10 a.m. As observed by banjarmasinpost.co.id, the location was filled with curious residents as well as police officers from the North Banjarmasin sector of the police. AM, who was drunk, was secured in a police car. At the same time, police officials then asked a local resident for information about the incident that had spread on social media. Tensions were high when the resident asked the police to imprison AM because the man did not act once to make the residents so restless. AM's mother, MUS, on the other hand, was in the same location and looked resigned when residents urged the police to imprison her son. Bayangkara, the supervisor of security and public order in Sungai Andai Village, Second Police Inspector Adjutant Andreas, discussed the issue with the resident and AN's mother. Receiving the report, Bayangkara, the supervisor of security and order for the Sungai Andai community, immediately went to the scene and at that time, AN was already secured by the resident. Imagine if AN was drunk. He even threw stones at a neighbor's house. In fact, continued Second Police Inspector Adjutant Andri, the owner of the house, which is located right next to AN's house, chose to sell his house. Not only to neighbor, AN is also known to often beat his mother when she is under the influence of alcohol. The pig, according to the Second Police Inspector Adjutant Andri, was AN acting, which made his neighbor left and right even more furious. From inside, AN shouted that he wanted to burn his house and his mother's clothes. Shocked by the reckless action her son could take, the mother then asked her neighbor for help to stop AN's action. After the door of AN's house opened, the neighbor immediately pulled AN and secured a stove that the man allegedly tried to turn on. Not long after the incident, the police came to the location to secure AN and took him to the North Banjarmasin sector police. The next news is motorcycle theft at Bandar Lampung boarding house. Theft of motorbikes has occurred again in Bandar Lampung. The perpetrators of the theft visited a boarding house on Perintis Street, Waidadi Baru, Sukarabe, Bandar Lampung on Wednesday, March 30, 2022 in the morning. The perpetrators, estimated to be 2 people, managed to get away with 2 motorbikes while the boarding house occupants were sleeping. One of the victims, 20-year-old Nevrita Wulanda, revealed that the perpetrator managed to enter the boarding house area by breaking the fence padlock. Initially, the perpetrators grabbed Beat's motorbike with the license plate number BE 2542IB. According to Nevrita, his Beat with the number BE 2671ACQ was equipped with a double lock at the time. but the perpetrators were still able to damage and take away his motorbike. Navrita explained that the perpetrator action were caught on CCTV cameras. Judging from its characteristics, it is possible that the two missing motorbikes were taken by the same perpetrator. According to him, the perpetrators freely carry out their action because at that hour, all the occupants of the boarding house were asleep. The next news is, cheap market welcomes Ramadan in Semarang. Welcoming the holy month of Ramadan 14 and 43 Hijriah, as well as Semarang City's birthday in May, SR Land Property Semarang will hold a market of 9 cheap staples for 2 days, namely from the 1st to the 2nd of April 2022. As many as 1,700 residents who live in Pandansari village and its surroundings get a share of 9 cheap basic commodities provided by the SR Land Property Semarang. Residents only need to bring a coupon submitted by the village apparatus and redeem 9 basic commodities at a price of 50,000 for one package. The market for 9 cheap staples organized by SR Land Property Semarang was opened directly by the Mayor of Semarang, Hendrar Prihadi. Handi, as nickname, said he thanked the company for the care. After giving 9 basic commodities to residents, Handi said that property development carried out by SR Land Property Semarang was able to increase investment in Semarang City. In addition, local residents will get employment benefits. On the other hand, the CEO of SR Land Properties, Foni Tresno Santoso, said that the package of 9 cheap staples, which was held for 2 days, contained rice, sugar, eggs, instant noodles, and tea. If denominated for 130,000 rupiah. With this cheap market, the middle and lower classes have the opportunity to get 9 basic commodities at very affordable prices. Of course, this is very helpful for the community at a time when the prices of 9 basic commodities on the market are creeping up ahead of the month of Ramadan. The last news comes from Surabaya. The dog lover community takes a sympathetic action regarding the dog slaughter case. The dog slaughter case that occurred in Blitar caught the intention of dog lovers in the city of Surabaya to hold positive activities. They distributed a number of necessities to the 4 alleged mammals at a shelter, Lakar Santri 3B Street, Surabaya on Saturday, April 2, 2022. There are 60 dogs of various breeds being cared for at the site, also equipped with guards and veterinarians to ensure their health and needs are guaranteed. Dog lover Surabaya Luluk said that because of the case in Blitar, she moved his heart and cares for dogs. Luluk and her colleagues distributed food donation, medicines, vitamins, and various snacks to dogs. On the same occasion, they also distributed 9 basic ingredients to the surrounding community. Meanwhile, shelter owner Marta expressed her high affection for dogs. According to her, animals also have pain when they are not treated properly. Well, that's all the news for today with me, Mutiara. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.